Great show, 10 seconds.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Renee Cobb. This is Red Barn Radio's 18th broadcast season, and tonight is Red Barn Radio's 669th live concert performance. We would like to welcome all the listeners on West Virginia Public Radio. Red Barn Radio now joins the stations throughout the Mountain State, and it is our hope that you will make us a part of your regular radio and online listening. Tonight, Red Barn Radio presents The Folk Project. Hannah Coomer and Eric Scott have known each other for their entire life, graduating from the same class in high school, but connected musically 7 years later after a mutual friend's show. After the show, their writing began. The musical chemistry was undeniable, the songs extraordinary, and the blend was perfect, and The Folk Project was born. Please welcome to the Red Barn stage, The Folk Project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This first song we're going to do is called Shaken.
You're the evergreen tree growing in my yard, and I need your love like the moon needs the stars. Yeah, I've made our plans to run the fields and the plains, be one with the land and one with our name. The earth and you have me pulled in tight. Now I waited so long, but it feels so right. I am your river and you are my guide. Create me a forever that we can never divide. Fly, fly, fly with the wind and breeze. Float, float, float in the deep blue sea. Climb, climb, climb every mountain top. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped. You're the evergreen tree growing in my yard, and I need your love like the moon needs the stars. Yeah, I've made our plans to run the fields and the plains, be one with the land and one with our names. Fly, fly, fly with the wind and breeze. Float, float, float in the deep blue sea. Climb, climb, climb every mountain top. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped. Fly, fly, fly with the wind and breeze. Float, float, float in the deep blue sea. Climb, climb, climb every mountain top. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped. Oh, we are not shaken, oh yeah, we cannot be stopped.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. WEKU is Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, serving Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta, and live music every weekend. On Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky, Broussard's is on Facebook. Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities, listen locally, and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and listenlocally.net. Griffin Gate Resort and Spa, a luxury spa located in the Marriott in Lexington, Kentucky. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky. And Accuprint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter, and hopefully like us on Facebook. Now here again is the host of Red Barn Radio to tell you more about tonight's performance.
The Folk Project is an acoustic indie folk duo. They've been together for 3 years, playing shows all across the country. The Folk Project's intent is to impact people in a positive way and for their lyrics to resonate so that they can touch people's lives the way other influential artists and writers have done for them. A lot of their songs come from personal experience, and some come from watching the people around them as they experience the fear of facing their own tragedies. In the end, we are all human, and they want to make sure their music allows people to find comfort and that they aren't alone in their thoughts. Let's get back to this wonderful music from the Folk Project live here on the Red Barn stage.
Thank you. This next song we're going to do is original Hannah wrote, and it's called Jonah.
You came from a belly of a whale to remind me of who I am in this city. I'm resurrected, I forgive you. You came in and said your past is dead. I'm resurrected, I forgive you. Oh, and above, teach me to love Jesus. Oh, and above, teach me how to love the Lamb. You came from a belly of a whale to remind me of who I am in this city. Thank you.
This next song we're going to do is an original I wrote. It's the title track of our CD. It's a pretty laid back kind of song. It's called Traveler's Bag.
I put together my traveling bag and I said to the wind that I'm not coming back. I left a note on the back of your favorite thing, 'cause I'm not coming back. I took a ride from a random guy. Don't do nothing funny, I'm not thinking twice. I'm headed out north this time. Don't pay for a visit, I'm not thinking twice. From all the things I put you through, you'd still pick up if I called you. From all the things you try to do, I'd still pick up just to hear you. It's cold, there's frost on my eyes. I've got some more clothes, but they're all inside. You try to pick apart at my eyes, but my walls are built strong, gotta keep it inside.
And on a darker note, this next song is, I mean, maybe we'll get to talk about it here in like just a second, but this is kind of a more personal song because it had to do with one of our friends. But this song is called The Devil.
There's a storm that's brewing inside my heart in the dark. It feels the same as I remember. The chills just ran down my spine. And I hope that I'm not getting behind. Just grab another bottle of the shine. I hope that you will reach me in time. I put my finger on the trigger. My life has flashed before my eyes, and I'm sorry for missing dinner. I'm too far in to quit or compromise. I'm fed up with the people and the lies. My thoughts are what led me to my demise. I loved you, but you never realized. Make a choice, you can prove it. There's a devil that's deep within my mind. You meant it when you said this was your time. Don't go back on it now and be alive. Just show them you weren't scared to up and die.
All right, so this next song that we're going to do, it's called I Drink, and I wrote it, in October, it'll be 6 years sober for me, and so I wrote it about kind of when I was in that rut and dealing with alcoholism and drugs and a couple of fun things, but ultimately really detrimental to my health. So I kind of wrote about what it's like to feel controlled by that. So. I drink because I am hoping, and I drink because I am lonely, and I want your body to be next to mine, and I want your comfort to soothe my sore eyes. And I drink because I feel so out of control, and I drink because I don't know anything else, and I watch your body decay to wine, and I watch your mind slip in time. And I dream, and I dream, and I drink because I feel so out of control.
Here is the host of Red Barn Radio, Brad Becker.
Thanks, Renee. Thanks for joining us tonight on Red Barn Radio. Our guests are the Folk Project, and glad to have you guys with us.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming, and you're back for the second time. You reminded me you were so familiar, and
Yeah.
you were here with
No Deceit.
No
There's
Deceit.
another band I play in.
Yeah. Well, let's start with Campbellsville, because that's the place where you all grew up. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can Hannah, could you tell us about where that is and what it's like, sort of the culture of that place? What do people do there? And
Well, it is smack dab in the middle of the Bible Belt, so it's very, it's a very religious area. So you have a lot of churches and things like that, small town, like small Main Street kind of thing. A lot of mom and pops, but it's a really kind of tight-knit community. I would say inside the city, there's probably about 10,000 people, and I would say maybe within the county itself, you branch out to maybe 25,000. But it's really not super large, and so if you go to Walmart, you're bound to run into at least like 10 people that you know. And so that's kind of it, and it's central Kentucky, so it's like right in the middle.
yeah, and yeah, I think you've just sort of described what people both love and hate about small town life,
Exactly.
sort of all in one fell swoop there. You all went to the same high school. Is there just one high school that serves the area there, or?
There are two.
Oh, okay.
We're from Campbellsville, and they have a Campbellsville High School, but it's in Taylor County, and we went to Taylor County High School. And both of those are really close to each other.
And how well did you all know each other during your high school years? Were you like well acquainted, or just sort of knew of each other?
Like,
or?
Yeah, I would say like acquaintances, kind
Yeah.
of. And
I mean, I remember Eric in my 5th grade classes, you know, like this kid with red hair that sat across the room and, you know, roll call and there's Eric Scott. But I mean, it was like we had never really said a word to one another. And then Guitar Hero came out in high school, and I always saw this guy across choir while everyone's like gawking at him, like playing Guitar Hero. And it was like, oh, well, no one's better than Eric. And so that's kind of the most I knew about Eric, was that he had long hair, he was in a rock band, and he played Guitar Hero.
And was that a real contrast to the person you were in high school, your high school years, Hannah?
Yeah, at the time. I've evolved and changed quite a bit, which, you know, is pretty natural for most people, but I don't know, I was a lot preppier in high school, and I definitely hung out with like just a select crowd, I guess. But I don't know, as I went off to college and everything, things really changed, and I grew into just a different perspective. And I think in high school I didn't really know who I was or where I wanted to go, and you know, college kind of opened that up for me.
Yeah. Did you have you mind me asking? Did you have a good relationship with your family and whatnot when you were growing up? Did you have a pretty tight family unit?
Yeah, I mean, my dad, he worked quite a bit, and so I didn't see him a whole lot when I was a kid, and so I spent more time with my mom, and I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and I would say that she's about 50% responsible for raising me along with my mother. And my dad, he wasn't absent, he just worked all the time.
Yeah.
And so, but ultimately, you know, I see them and talk to them just about once a week at least. Sometimes they come to my shows, and so
Oh, nice.
it's good. Yeah.
How did Grandma play a role in shaping you as either a musician or writer or both?
Yeah, definitely. So she had a gospel band, and as a kid, she got me a little kid acoustic guitar, and they wouldn't plug me in or anything, but I would just get up there and, you know, just strum away and stuff. And then sometimes they'd give me a shaker egg, and I'd just sit up
Yes.
there and shake to it and stuff. But as I got older, I tried to get into piano, and I got very frustrated by it, and I quit. And then I got into guitar lessons, and then I quit. And then one day, I was sitting at my other grandmother's house, who they're also very musically inclined as well. So it comes from both sides of my
Your dad's
family.
side? Or is that-
This would be my mother's side.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting there, and all my cousins are playing like bass and guitar and stuff, and I'm trying to like pick these like 4 chords that I barely know. And my cousin, who's kind of a jerk, comes over and he's like, you don't know anything, you're terrible. And he says a bunch of kind of rude things or whatever. And then I was just like, in my mind, that's what did it for me. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to show up next time, and like I'm totally going to be better than you. And I think that's what drove me into wanting to actually try and not give up. And from there, my dad's mom, so my other grandmother, she owned a music store, and I worked up there, and the guy that ran it basically taught me, and then I self-taught myself from there. And so I didn't really do any more formal lessons, and I just started playing by ear. So half the things I play, I cannot tell you I play, but I know
Yeah.
that it sounds good. So.
What do you think? What do you think? Like when you look back to those some of those early first lessons that you took when you gave up, was it because there was just not a teacher who was inspiring you, or was it just because you weren't ready to take it on?
I think it was probably more the fact that they were, you know, they stuck a book in front of me, and I'm not a put me in a box kind of person. I don't like I like there to be formality, but at the same time it was just like, well, you need to learn this song, and then you need to learn this one, and it was like, but I want to do my own songs. And they're like, yeah, but you need to do this first. And I'm like, but why do I have to do that first? And I didn't like that. And so I was just like, nah. And and so I just told my mom, I was like, I don't want to do it. And then the other complaint was that it hurt my fingers. So, what?
You always fall back on that.
Yeah. So that's kind of where that was.
Yeah. Thanks. Eric, and what about you? How did you become a guitar hero?
Well, for the longest time, my dad played guitar. He had played guitar in the past in a couple different like local bands around the area, and
What kind of bands?
they're like rock bands. Yeah. He played lead guitar, and then I aspired to eventually kind of follow in his footsteps. Although I did it a little different. But yeah, I guess it went Guitar Hero, and then my dad taught me a couple of chords, and then I self-taught myself a lot of different stuff, and then I took lessons at college, and then I've basically just kind of been teaching myself from that point as well, and that's my whole progression. I think.
Do kids actually learn, or they don't really? I don't know that people play Guitar Hero anymore. Do kids still play that?
Yeah, I'm sure some people do. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it died off or what. Do kids actually learn guitar skills playing Guitar Hero, like with their finger dexterity? and-
There are some things that you could get out of it, but ultimately I would have to say no. I would say that clicking your fingers along to like a metronome type beat that the game makes you do, that is somewhat of a useful skill to kind of pick up, and
Yeah.
strumming along with it, because if you're not in time, you're going to be missing a lot of notes. But outside of that, I find it hard to say that it could actually teach you anything like meaningful, because there is so much I had to learn whenever I stopped playing Guitar Hero and picked up the real guitar. There's a lot more to it.
Huh. So you said that you were going to take a different path, and you sort of aspired to do something like what your dad was doing, but you decided to take kind of a different path.
Yeah.
And that path, you would say, was more just immersing yourself into the music that you loved and.
Yeah, basically. I mean, at first I tried to play lead guitar like him, and I did do that for a long time. I was really into metal, actually, for the longest time in my life. And but I also had this other side of me that really liked this soft, simple, easy listening music. So I was on like two sides of the spectrum, just either really crazy or just really mild. And eventually, the thing that set it off for me, that it's where I'm at right now, is whenever I took lessons at college, it was for classical guitar. So I got accustomed to finger picking, and then I took that over to just the normal acoustic guitar, because this has steel strings. The classical guitars have nylon strings. And so this is a lot brighter, has more of a pop to it, and I think it sounds better personally, but just that's all opinion. But yeah, I think the finger style picking from classical I took with me, and I've used that in almost everything I've done at this point.
Did you go to college for music?
Yeah,
Yeah. Where'd you go?
it was at Campbellsville University.
Okay, and did both of you attend school there?
You
I
did-
did.
Yeah.
I took some classes while I was in high school, and then I did my freshman year, but then I transferred to Western. So
Oh, okay. And did you pursue music, Hannah, at school?
I started. It feels like forever ago. What I'm trying to remember what I did and what I didn't. I started, and then I think I flipped over to journalism, and then I flipped over to religious studies, and I really I just could not figure out what I wanted, and so I stayed with the religion stuff for quite a little bit, and then I eventually decided that I wanted to do social work with like nonprofit and child psychology stuff, and or like in the summer I would work at a church camp, and so I wanted to go back and actually like run, like be a part of the whole making, the logistics behind the camp and everything, and but somewhere along there I just felt really lost, like unfulfilled, and then I started getting to a very dark place, and then from there I left college, and it took a while, but then I got here. So
Yeah. Do you think? Did you get some help? Were you depressed? Do you think? Like during those times, was it depression, or was it just a confusion about, like, you had a lot of interests and a lot of passions, and you weren't sure which one to follow?
I was in a long-term relationship that I almost got married in, and it got very complicated due to a whole lot of issues that arose as far as, there's cheating and some other like really bad issues that had ultimately happened, and they just caused a lot of problems, and it caused our relationship to fall apart. And and I'm out here like trying to be on my own and do my own thing and really show my parents that I could be independent, but ultimately I really just took out a bunch of loan money and blew it on drugs and alcohol, and I put myself in a really big amount of debt, and I kind of buried my GPA with that debt. And they basically told me at the point where when I went back and actually like was doing fine as far as what my grades were doing each semester, they were like, no matter how good you do, it's going to take you at least 6 years for you to get back into your social work program, and by the time you graduate, you'll have enough hours to become a doctor. And then I would just be graduating with a bachelor's and then still have to go do a 2-year internship on top of it. And to me, it was so overwhelming, and and at that point, I just really felt like God was just calling me somewhere else, because my spirituality is like really important to me, and I just felt like I just needed a reset. And so I went home, and I didn't get clean immediately, but more things in my life happened, and it took a while, but so.
Glad you were able to reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's definitely a lot.
yeah, well, I'm nice talking with you guys. I want to talk more, and we'll do that in a little while. I'd like to get back to the music. We are listening, folks, to the Folk Project. They're from Campbellsville, Kentucky, and they're here with us on Red Barn Radio tonight. Let's get back to it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a little easy listening song as well called Where Is My Home?
I wander down this road, I am broke, trying to find my home. Where is my home? Help me find my home. I wander down this road, I am broke, trying to find my home. Where is my home? Help me find my home.
Caged up, I'm lost inside, trying hard to find the light. Where is my home? is my home.
Thank you.
Now to start playing a bunch of, or not a bunch, but we have 2 songs coming up that are both kind of silly songs, I would say.
Yeah, this one, let's see, what are we playing? Spaceman. So this song is literally wrote about nothing other than basically if you want to be president of space. And it has no context whatsoever to it other than it's just supposed to be for fun.
We
But
just thought it was kind of catchy. And
yeah. It is my 11-year-old cousin's favorite song, next to the one that we're going to play after, and which I guess is appropriate for a child because it's kind of wrote from almost a childlike perspective. So.
Never thought I'd see so clear. I'm floating around in my big white boots in space. Most people tend to stay. A single tax I shall not pay. Looking fine in my rocket ship in space. I am the spaceman. Just call me Mr. President of Space. Everything is free until I say it's not. Galactic Federation can't be fought. Broke down on the cheesy moon. I got a birthday coming soon. I'm all alone and I have no cake in space. Sitting around in my underwear, and I'm almost out of air. Guess I should just end this song about space. I am the spaceman. Just call me Mr. President of Space. Everything is free until I say it's not. Galactic Federation can't be fought. I am the spaceman. Just call me Mr. President of Space. Everything is free until I say it's not. Galactic Federation can't be fought. Galactic Federation can't be fought. Freedom and oxygen can't be bought.
Thank you.
try to not take ourselves too seriously, and I think that song shows it. And this next one definitely does.
Yeah, so this next one's called shiggity, and we don't really know what that word means, but Eric looked it up, and it's kind of a word that you apply to things that you want to sound cool. And so this is our cool song, I guess.
I think it does the opposite of make words sound cool.
I think it makes you kind of sound cheesy and lame, but I guess we're kind of half cheesy and lame and half super serious. So, yeah, so we're going to invite you all to clap with us in the middle of the song, but we'll get there, so.
Baby, won't you come out and play? Are you gonna get dressed today? Baby, won't you come out and play? Are you gonna get dressed today?
I've decided that upon arriving, we'll have a quick breakfast, get down to the writing. So dance in the forest, so down are the forces to try to enforce us to be what they want us to be. Be what they want us to be. Maybe we can both just pretend, get us out of the shape we're in. Maybe we can both just pretend, get us out of the shape we're in. So be as we may, we might as well say it, try less to degrade it, can't ever escape it. The words of my mind are a constant reminder of how far we go to belittling bonds at sea. Blind nose at sea. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. This is the part where I want to get everyone to clap along with Hannah real quick. Yeah. Best audience we've had so far yet.
Yeah, really.
All right, keep going. 1, 2, 3. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. Sing it with me now. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. A little louder. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. Shiggity ba 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 ba. Shiggity ba ba ba. Normally right here I say something really cheesy to the audience, like call them superstars or tell them to go buy our merch, and then I'll use that money to buy you all a drink. And I don't know. I'm trying my best to breathe. Try to love you, the world in me. I am trying my best to breathe. Try to love you, the world in me. Shiggity ba 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 ba.
Thank you.
Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen features authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta with live music every weekend on Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky. Broussard's is also on Facebook.
Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities. Listen locally and engage in a variety of shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, and dialogue and conversation. And there's more on Facebook, Instagram, and at listenlocally.net.
The Griffin Gate Resort and Spa, a luxury spa located in the Marriott in Lexington, Kentucky, is a perfect place for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky.
And also AccuPrint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us.
And now, folks, welcome to the second half of tonight's Red Barn Radio program. Red Barn Radio is coming to you live from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back the Folk Project.
Thank you. The song is called Coke and Whiskey.
Coke and whiskey are there for me. Sing me to sleep, sleep tight, my darling. Lines and blades, both cut the same, both cut my veins, it stops the hurting. Bourbon mouth, I'm weak, you're stout. Let's drink my doubt into revival. Abandoned words, I told them first. I told them hurt is all I'm thinking.
ecstasy, my body free, stripped all of me, alone and naked. I am the broken parts of you, and you always knew, you always knew it too. I am the broken parts of you, and you always knew, you always knew it too. Coke and whiskey are there for me. Sing me to sleep, sleep tight, my darling.
That song was kind of quiet. This song is called Quietly.
Yeah, this one is about being in a relationship, but people all the time think of being in love and going out and doing all these things together and constantly, this big wave of ups and downs that you go through. But sometimes some of the most, the moment I think that you can come together the most with someone is in your quiet moments. And it's all about finding someone in the midst of all the chaos in your life and to actually stop and hear them and let them hear you, and to actually, meet in that quiet space. So that's where this song comes from.
And me, we've seen everything there is to see, from oceans to mountains to dirt on our shoes, from logs to the stars to the pools of our own blue. And we dance lines like the tide pulls from the moon, pushed and shoved like the wind in a balloon. Me and you, it's true, I don't really have a clue, from sun to the snow to the wildfire that grew, with love fed the flames, crash and burn, God, I thought I knew. And we dance lines like the tide pulls from the moon, pushed and shoved like the wind in a balloon. How do I find you? Quietly. How do I find you? Quietly. How do I find you? Quietly. You and me, we've seen everything there is to see.
Thank you. So, this next song that we're going to do, this one's our favorite. And it definitely comes from a really dark place. So, he had asked earlier, and I had mentioned coming out of a bad relationship, and that's exactly what this song came out of. And I think this song actually helps me cope with the trauma that I still deal with from that. Even it's been almost a decade now, but it's still sometimes I have days where it's really hard just because a lot of bad things happened. But this song has brought about so many really good things because last year we run a music festival in our town, and last year John Paul White headlined it, and we got to spend a lot of time with him, and he invited us down to his studio in Alabama. And we hung out with him there, and he gave us a lot of really good advice, and I was just feeling really inspired by his music. And so the style of the song kind of came from that. And I was really excited to show it to him, and then I got really nervous, and I didn't. And I asked him, I was like, you know, how much does it cost to record down here and everything? And, you know, he didn't. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but we are going to make this into a single. And I don't know if we're going to try to go down to Alabama and do it or not, but his steel player has actually agreed to come on the track with us and do it. And so we're really excited about that and to bring Todd on. And I don't know how much John's involvement will be directly, but I know that, you know, his influence sits there, and that's like a really nice kind of balance to this song, so that it doesn't just feel like I'm just wrapping myself up in a breakup all over again. But it's called Comfort, and I hope that you guys like it. Contrary to what they think, I told him everything. I told him what I did, and I said that we should sit, and then we talked through the night, and then we cried and tried to make it right, but then we knew that we had come too far, that we had left the comfort of our yard. Sadness burrowed in our hands as our children left our land and you settled in with your favorite dream. And I swam and watched your brown eyes sing. And then we screamed in an angry feud. What's left of you? I thought I knew. But then we part, two strangers past, and I sing, oh babe, we didn't last. And I sing, oh babe, we didn't last. That we had left the comfort of our past. Thank you.
Here again is Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker.
So, Traveler's Bag is such a neat title. It's sort of rich in sort of imagery and connotation. But your performing name, on the other hand, it sort of sounds like something somebody would apply for a grant for, like when you give it the name the Folk Project. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys arrived at that versus something sort of clever or?
Right. We came up with the Folk Project because to some degree we weren't really able to be like super clever with a name, but we just wanted to start somewhere and not think too long and just over and over, should it be this, should it be this? It's like, well, let's just make a decision and roll with it, because ultimately it's important, but it's not that important. I think the way you present yourself and do everything is far more important than just your name. So, but yeah, we settled on the Folk Project because it was something that neither of us hated in the moment. And yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to say about it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I look at it, we get all the time, you guys aren't exactly folk. And I'm like, well, not in a traditional sense, no. So, like, our music kind of comes up with this, taking the storytelling aspect of writing and what, folk presents in that, and then kind of mixing it with more of a indie sound, and the whole singer-songwriter aspect of it. But I think what I like about it is constantly presenting ourselves as a project, which really allows us to do absolutely anything that we want with it. So I could just start playing mandolin one day on stage or a banjo, and then they'd be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, well, we're a project, so we can do whatever we want. It's but in reality, it really does. I think it also encompasses a lot of who we are, because we don't know who we are. And so we're constantly trying to go from one thing to another to try and figure that out.
Good. Well, it wasn't, my question really didn't mean to deride your choice. I was just kind of curious what the story was behind it. So, Hannah, you have some sort of long interest in writing. I heard you say earlier that when you went to school that at least one thing you entertained was the idea that you might pursue a writing major.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I used to write poems all the time, and quite comical ones. I still have some that I get made fun of for constantly. And I was going to publish this book, so I printed them all off in nice form and put a cover sheet in a little protective thing and called it In Still Waters. And I was like, this is bestseller material. And it's sitting at home still. And every now and then I flip through it. But I think if I hadn't went through that, I wouldn't be where I am with writing now. And I wanted to do poems, and then I wanted to do a book, and I was always writing about like I did journalism at school, and then they assigned a piece to me, and they're like, Hannah, you're making it too personal, or you're trying to put yourself too much in it and be more objective. And I'm just like, yeah, well, I want the people to hear. Like, I want them to know, you know. And ultimately, we had a talent show, and I had written like 2 or 3 songs at home, and I was like, okay. So I went to school and I did the talent show, and that was the first time I had played in front of, there's probably like 1,000 people in that gym or something.
Oh, wow.
And it was terrifying, but in the end, it was really gratifying, and that's when I knew that was the one thing that I knew was me. And I think, so ultimately, that, you know, that's what made me a writer. And so then that's why I dabbled with it a little bit in college, but.
So that experience, more so than any particular teachers or mentors, really felt like that sparked your desire to do more?
That, and the guy that, you know, helped teach me guitar, he all the time was really encouraging, like, you're gonna do this one day, you're gonna be in a band, and you're gonna do it. And I was just like, yeah, whatever.
The
like,
guy in the music store?
Yeah.
Huh.
And he probably was one of my biggest fans, like pushing me on, because I was really meek about what I wanted to do, and I just had no idea. I didn't have the guts to do it, and he was there just being like, just be brave and just do it. And I was terrified to talk like to a crowd or anything, and my mom all the time, I'd get off stage and I would be like, well, what should I do better? And she's like, talk, open your mouth. And I was just like, okay, what do I say? You know, and ultimately now, like, it doesn't faze me one bit, but I mean, it definitely, you know, that's something that I had to go through.
So you both sang in chorus in school, right? You were describing earlier, you're both in chorus, him over on the side doing the guitar thing. And so, Eric, did you learn to sing as a young person at home, in church, or?
I would say I never really started learning how to sing until I joined the chorus. I mean, I kind of would sing here and there. I really wasn't that good, and I think at this point I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot better than I was when I started, which is something. But I played, the first thing I ever learned how to play was clarinet, actually. Whenever I was in 6th grade, from 6th grade to 9th grade, I played clarinet in the school band. And then by 9th grade, I absolutely hated it, and I had to quit. But I really wanted to sing, and I really wanted to do music stuff, so I ended up joining the chorus because a bunch of my friends were in it, and it seemed pretty cool. So, and then, yeah, I just kept singing from there, I guess.
Well, yeah, well, you have a great ear, obviously, to do the kind of harmonies that you all are doing. You're not doing, simple harmonies. You're doing some pretty intricate stuff and following each other really closely and whatnot.
Right. Well, to me, I mean, some of the harmonies that we're doing, in my mind, are simple. I mean, they are what my brain naturally wants to go to. So, without me even trying really hard, I kind of hit around the area that I'm looking for, and then we kind of hone in where the harmony should be from there. But learning harmony in the chorus taught me a lot, because you had to listen to your part very specifically. You can't be singing the melody if you're singing the bass. It's not going to work. You have to be singing the bass part, and so you have to focus in on what that actually is.
Yeah, yeah. And so you all, you obviously enjoy the sort of intoxicating feeling of harmonizing, which is an amazing thing.
I love harmonies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
great
great.
experience. But you do duet. That's what you do. Do you like the freedom that duet offers up over 3 and 4 part, where you kind of got to lock in?
Oh yeah. It's definitely a lot easier to only worry about 2 people than it is more than 2 people, I guess. But I just think that in a lot of cases, harmonies only really need 2 parts, After that, you're just adding more, and sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's like, I don't know if it needed it, but 2 is just a really, really good blend. So I have a lot of fun with it, at least.
Yeah, it seems like you guys, just get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Do you ever improvise vocally, or most of your vocal lines pretty much mapped out?
I can't actually naturally harmonize. Eric has to teach most of them. Like, it's really weird because, like, I can hear them in my head so perfect, but it's like I lose the ability to sing the second I try to do it, and I sound terrible.
That surprises me.
It just sounds like I can't sing. And he laughs, and he's like, it's just so simple. And I'm like, no, it sounds like total crap right now is what it does. And so he'll have me sing the melody, and he comes up with like 3 or 4 different harmony lines, and then he's like, okay, let's pick one that you like that sounds the best. And then he teaches it to me. Sometimes we'll record it on my phone, and then I'll just over and over in my head until I got it, and then we'll play it and play it and play it, and once I have it, it's there, and it never goes away.
Well, that's good.
But yeah.
You got to burn it into your brain.
Yeah. So how about the writing piece? Does that, do you tend to drive the writing, Hannah and Eric? You fill out the ideas or sort of add to them? How does that work?
We both write our own songs, and some songs we just co-write also from the start. So everything we've done tonight and everything we do in general is it's kind of a mix of something I've came up on my own or something she came up with her on her own, and then like we've added to each other's songs, of course. But also, there are some here and there that we've co-written the entire thing. But yeah.
I'm interested in your choice to work with a pedal steel player for your next CD. Will he play on the CD as well, or will he perform with you all?
So we're gonna do Just Comfort as a single, which we are gonna start working on our next album, and we're gonna put Comfort on that album. But
great song.
The first time maybe a couple years ago we played it, and we brought a family friend that played steel up on the stage, and he basically, when you heard Eric doing his guitar solo, that's when there's actual like a pedal steel solo, and then the rest of the song, it's just these kind of swells that just kind of go in and out in behind it. And so we're definitely going to have him on Comfort. And I honestly haven't really thought of like our other songs, like what we might or might not do. It's just really interesting altogether. Eric, on one of our last single, In the Wind, he actually took the volume knobs, and he would just hit the string and then swell them in and swell them out, and then put that as a background. And then he went in and did these different ones that were a little bit more intricate, and then they somehow lapped with each other, and it ended up creating a really cool thing, and we didn't even need a pedal steel. But this feels good to have Todd on.
It seems like it would it just seems to me like it really sort of would suit your aesthetic. It's a really cool idea.
And he's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best I've ever come across. So.
Folks, we're talking with the Folk Project. They've been our guest here on Red Barn Radio. Great to have you guys with us. Thanks for all the conversation and the great music. And
absolutely.
Look forward to hearing some more music now. Welcome them back, folks. The Folk Project.
Thank you. This next song we're going to do is called Damage Done.
He was just a man inside you. He beat and he broke your hands, fought you to find you. Took all your heart and made it, solved you, stole all your mouth that said it, stripped you, he stripped you. You said you'd walk on by, move forward one more time, but lashed on your coattail, son.
you, bashed in one good you hide it. Left you, she left you, and told 1,000 lies. They echo. Your future's a mere goodbye. No closure, no closure. You said you'd walk on by, move forward one more time, but latched on your coattail, son. Well, that is the damage done. You said you'd walk on by, move forward one more time, but latched on your coattail, son. Well, that is the damage done. You took the sharpest edge, it cut you, it cut you. You pushed it deeper into feel you, to feel you. Holding that 44, you're shaking it, shaking. Colder than solid steel, it's burning, it's burning. You said you'd walk on by, move forward one more time, but latched on your coattail, son. Well, that is the damage done. You said you'd walk on by, move forward one more time, but latched on your coattail, son. Well, that is the damage done. You said you'd walk on by, move forward one more time, but latched on your coattail, son. Well, that is the damage done. Well, that is the damage done. Well, that is the damage done. Well, that is the damage done.
Thank you.
This is a song that sounds almost identical to another one of my songs. So I always have a hard time figuring out how the rhythm starts just at the beginning, but give me 1 second, I'll find it.
This is actually a song that Eric, he completely wrote and brought over to my house one day, and it ended up, I think it's a really, really well-written song, and so I was like, yeah, we definitely have to add this to our set list, so it's called Your Name.
You rolled up your window and waved goodbye. The sunset never looked so inviting. I wrote you a letter, but I threw it away. I couldn't think of anything to say, so I wrote your name. I wrote your name. You packed up and left now, and I miss you the same. But it seems we're in two separate lanes, and I can't help but notice you're doing okay. I wish that I could say the same. When I wrote your name, I wrote your name. Ooh. I've gotten older, and I think of you a lot. And I wonder if you forgot when I wrote your name. I wrote your name. I wrote your name.
So this next song, it's called River. I wrote it to be with a full band, which we usually we're acoustic, but here lately we've had a lot of full band performances, and so it was definitely interesting trying to rework this back down to acoustic because it's a whole lot of chugging, which is not very folk, but we're a project, so we can do what we want. Yeah, so this song's called River. It kind of has some, it's kind of about being baptized in one way or the other, but it definitely has some religious influence to it, and just kind of, I don't know, I'll let you guys kind of figure out for yourself what you think, because I don't exactly know what the song's about yet. I'm still waiting on it, but it's called River.
Hey there, big man in the sky. I think I met you one time. I think I met you one day in the river, river, river. Hey there, big man in the sky. I think I met you one time. I think I met you one day in the garden, garden, garden.
Well, clocks turn round, I left you in the dark. I wasted all my days picking you apart, dropping pennies in an empty well. Oh well, oh well. Making my way down to the sinner's box, I got a list of doubt, and I know I forgot that I sold my soul to drink for free. And all I wanna do is go to sleep.
one time I think I met you. One day in the river, river, river.
We would like to thank the Folk Project for being with us this evening. We also thank our volunteers for their help with our production each and every week. We give a very special thanks to Becky Alfrey for her work with our social media and the photography of Nick Lazaros. Thank you all for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube Live, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, public radio for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. It's your chance to hear more great live Kentucky music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU.
We also extend our gratitude to the members of our studio audience for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio, which strives to present, promote, and preserve the rich musical tradition and artists of this Kentucky region and share this treasure with the world. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Tickets for Red Barn Radio are now available at eventbrite.com Lexington.
Next week, here on the Red Barn stage, Countrywide. They are a Southern country rock group with a unique sound in today's industry. Founded in southeastern Kentucky, Countrywide brings you a wide variety of musical styles. In the fall of 2015, they released their debut album called Justice in the South. That's Countrywide, 7 p.m. next week on the Red Barn stage. And once again, please give it up for the Folk Project one more time here on the Red Barn stage.
Thank you. This last song we're going to do is maybe our most silliest song of them all, and it's called Foggy.
I'm gonna yell, and if you want to make it less awkward, then yell with me. If not, well, I'll be the only one yelling.
Hold up, won't you let me explain for a minute my reasons for being here? I was caught up in the moment, didn't realize I was all alone and started to get cold as ice. My mind's been a little more foggy and my memory is going just as fast. I can still remember all the laughs we had and all the little things and promises that we had made, oh yeah.
Let's give 'em what we got, Eric.
Won't you take a second, think of me, and try to think of all the things that I have done to you. I was never really trying to be mean. The fact that you were bothered by the fact I disagreed, oh, it sends such a crystal clear message. I was in too deep and out of my own league. Never thought that we would ever come this far, but then again I turn around and baby, I don't wanna leave.
Take it down on this last one, Hannah.
Can we just go back several paces and go back to where we would start normally? I feel like I really want to do this right. It's like I really want to spend a lot of time this time. Oh, my mind's been a little more foggy and my memory is going just as fast. I can still remember all the laughs we had and all the little things and promises that we had made, oh yeah. I can still remember all the laughs we had and all the little things and promises that we had made, oh yeah. I can still remember all the laughs we had and all the little things and promises that we had made, oh yeah.
Here we go now. Thank you, everybody. We're the Folk Project.
Thanks for having us.
Well, that's all of tonight's Red Barn Radio program, live from Lexington, Kentucky. You can see and hear us worldwide as we stream live on the web, on YouTube, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Our program is also available on the WEKU app. Check out Red Barn Radio on demand. And now to all of our friends worldwide, we wish you a great week. Until next time, good night from all of us here at Red Barn Radio.